when I sat down, I actually had Caitlin Clark's mum sit directly next to me. And her whole family was there. Her dad was there, her brother was there. It was a whole bunch of other people, relatives, it looked like. So maybe like auntie and uncle, I'm not sure. Family, friends. But they definitely came to watch her play, and the expectation, I'm sure, was that she was playing.
The cameras nearly missed something that occurred inside Gamebridge Fieldhouse. It was brief, silent, and provided all the information you needed to understand Caitlin Clark's current situation. During the game, a team trainer moved across the floor. He didn't go see a reporter. He didn't go to the front desk. He made his way directly to the family area. The Clark family, including her mother, father, and brother, who had traveled from Iowa to watch her play, were seated there, their gazes fixed on the court. The team had decided to put her to bed for the night after the trainer leaned in and discreetly revealed that she had experienced something earlier in the day.
Came over to Caitlin Clark's mum, and he actually came over and was like, hey, and her mum said to him, how's she going? And he said, yeah. And then obviously they tried to speak discreetly next to me, but it was something along the lines of, she pulled up, saw this today, and we tried to see if she was all right, but we just made a decision to sit her out.
Now consider that for a moment. The folks who took her to deserted gyms before dawn. The folks who witnessed her development from a young child bouncing a basketball in a Des Moines driveway to the most talked-about female athlete. They arrived via air. They purchased the tickets. They entered the arena with the expectation that their daughter would do what she was destined to do, but instead they sat there and watched her on the bench while dressed in street clothes for warm-ups, with the whole arena humming with confusion. If you have been keeping up with Caitlin Clark's story this season, please click the like button now and let me know in the comments if you believe she is being shielded or if there is more going on. You will have an opinion by the end of this, I promise.
Here we go again. Kelly Krauskopf, Amber Cox move right here. Doing a last minute update. Caitlin Clark is not playing tonight. And I gotta count my blessings that I was able to watch Caitlin Clark. I was able to get signatures, the whole everything with her. I got the Caitlin Clark experience twice this year. I feel bad for the fans that travel so far to go see her play, and they won't be able to see her tonight. And they pull the carpet underneath all those fans. This is wrong, guys. This is wrong. They should have had this update a day before or.
Before we continue, you must comprehend a basic aspect of Caitlin Clark's identity as a rival. She is not designed to sit. She was never designed to sit. In college, this player played for more than 40 minutes every night as if it were nothing. A player that played nearly every significant minute of the Fever's debut WNBA season under head coach Christy Sides. She has a distinct wiring. When you watch her on the bench, you can see that basketball is more than just her job. Her hands are twitching every time the ball moves, her feet are bouncing, her eyes are tracking every possession, and the competitive fire doesn't go out when a coach makes a substitution. Rather, it gets even hotter.
Caitlin, she is not going to be benched if she's not injured, or she's not going to do any damage to herself. She is a true competitor to her core. Seriously, this is Caitlin not playing. This is her wishing she was on the floor. This is her going, God, get me out there. She said recently, being on the bench, yes, she wants to be one of the best teammates she can in terms of being supportive, but God knows she does not want to be benched. She wants to be playing ball. She loves it more than anybody.
And anyone who has followed Hillary since her time in Iowa understands the significance of that expression. She wants to compete, she wants the floor, and she wants the ball. Nobody is more aware of that appearance than her family. They therefore didn't require a lengthy explanation when they saw the trainer approach. They were already aware that their daughter was well enough to attend. She wasn't playing, she was prepared, and she was dressed. Any parent would find it difficult to watch that, especially after going hundreds of miles to do it. However, why she missed one game is not the more important topic. Why this continues to occur is the more important question. You have to go back in time to a period where things truly function in order to comprehend that. The formula was straightforward under Christy Sides. Caitlin performed. Her average was 35. During her debut season, she averaged 4 minutes per game, ranking among the top 5 players in the WNBA. She was the driving force behind the offense, a playmaker, a floor spacer, the reason road stadiums around the nation sold out months in advance, and the reason the arena hummed every night. Christie Sides grasped a concept that shouldn't have been difficult. Things happen when Caitlin Clark is on the ground. Defenses are flexible. The crowd roars. Ratings for television are rising. Tickets disappear. The Indiana Fever turned into a viewing appointment. Sellouts at home as a result. Traveling from 3 states to attend a single game, there are sellouts on the road. The supporters become accustomed to that standard. To be honest, they still hold themselves to that level. The philosophy changed almost immediately after Stephanie White became head coach. All of a sudden, Clark was being removed at odd times, sitting down for extended periods of time that fans could not always understand, and changing lineups in ways that disrupted the team's rhythm. Additionally, there was no uncertainty in the fan base's answer. You can now hear the gradual, simmering, building rage in every podcast, post-game interview, and comment section of the
Needs to let the Indiana Fever know I will walk. I will walk. Y'all get y'all stuff together. Stop putting your damn hands on me. Stop touching me. Stephanie White, get the hell out of my way on offense, or else I can take my talents elsewhere. I can go elsewhere. I can sell tickets out elsewhere. My fans already are starting to show up less and less because they don't trust y'all dealing with me.
This is the point at which the narrative becomes truly captivating. According to the FIBA organization's official statement, this is all about player protection, load management, and keeping Caitlin healthy following what was, by all accounts, a terrible season in 2025 due to 3 different injuries. Only 13 games were played in a season that ended in early September before it even had a chance to begin. On paper, you can see the reasoning, but nobody wants to repeat that. Not the coaches, not the front office, not the fans, and most definitely not Caitlin herself.
Following up on Caitlin from earlier, she didn't practice yesterday. Why was she not listed on the injury report, or why wasn't the injury report updated like earlier today if she woke up with soreness in her back?
Well, not everybody that doesn't practice or gets a pro day is on the injury report, so that happens all the time. And she wasn't listed on the injury report earlier because we expected her to play.
And is she injured? I guess this is a fair question. Is she injured, or is it something other than an injury?
Her back is sore, so if there's anything more detailed than that, that's the training staff.
Do you think the Fever could get fined for not listing her as on the injury report?
No.
However, the moment you actually watch the games, that logic begins to break apart. Rhythm is vital to basketball players, particularly point guards. To read defenses, they require prolonged floor stretches. Develop a rapport with their teammates, establish a pace, and become comfortable with the game's flow. You can't expect a player to return 5 minutes later and perform at her best if you keep pulling her out every time she finds her rhythm. That is not how it operates. That is not how it has ever worked. There is momentum. There is rhythm. Additionally, neither Clark nor the Indiana offense as a whole ever truly settle into anything while they are being tossed in and out in erratic, choppy bursts. The outcomes have demonstrated it in the locker room, on the court, and in the stands, the most agonizing location for any sports team. No one in the Fever organization wants to publicly discuss the story that the stats are beginning to reveal. In terms of WNBA home attendance in 2026, Indiana has fallen to 5th place. 5th, for a brand that saw one of the largest attendance surges in history, the club whose entire identity erupted the moment Caitlin Clark came in 2024. The building is crowded, with little standing room, cell phones in the air, and kids in jerseys waiting for a wave at the rail when she's on the floor and completely focused. However, fans have realized that assurance has vanished as of right now.
Indiana Fever took on the Portland Fire, and there were about about 35 people in attendance. Damn! Fans, if any fans were outside ready to show up, they turned their car around. If somebody was in the parking garage getting ready to pay the parking attendant, as they're handing over the cash, they're looking at their phone. Oh, Caitlin Clark's not playing. I'll take my cash back. Yeah, I'm not coming.
This season, Clark was even benched from the starting lineup less than 2 hours before tip-off. 2 hours. Fans had already arrived by car. Parking had already been paid for. They had already located their seats and purchased their hot dogs. After that, they took out their phones to check the news. It's not a fan experience. It's a flip of the coin. Additionally, fewer people will come up the next time if you urge them to wager on whether the player they came to watch will actually play. The ticket resale markets are where you may observe it. It is visible in the parking lots. Fans are publicly stating on social media that they will hold off on purchasing tickets until closer to game day in order to confirm that Clark will be wearing a suit. That is not a loss of allegiance. Rather, it is a deterioration of trust, and the consequences extend well beyond a box score on any particular night. This is a portion of the narrative that is not sufficiently discussed. Every single one of Caitlin's teammates gains when she spends a lot of time on the floor. When she's out there, fences can't fall into the paint. She will draw up from 30 feet without hesitation, so they can't even unwind for half a second off the ball. Opponents find it more difficult to handle the reads. Driving lanes become available. Shooters are found in rhythm by the kick-out passes. Each member of her team plays a half-step more confidently, a half-step looser, and a half-step faster. All of that vanishes when she is sitting on the bench. Without any fault of their own, the players surrounding her become unremarkable as the defense closes again, the passageways shut, and the offense becomes stickier. You can't get past the fact that Justin Clark requires regular minutes to do what she does best, despite Stephanie White's candid remarks regarding her job and attempts to use her in other ways. And if you're still with me, please let me know where you're viewing from in the comments section below. I'd like to see how big of a fan base Caitlin Clark has. Across the Atlantic, Iowa, Indiana, and California. Give it to me to see. Now, if you look closely, you'll see something. During competitions, Caitlin Clark has never been very adept at controlling her emotions. She is locked in, tuned all the way in, her eyes ablaze, her attention unwavering, but only on that bench when she is on the floor, doing what she was meant to do. The fire does not go out while they watch the game continue without her. Anyone who is paying attention may see it right there on the surface. Earlier this season, Clark gave Stephanie White a look on the sidelines that said it all without saying a word. The event was captured on camera and quickly went viral on social media. You've seen the look before. That exact look has been offered by athletes throughout history. Her relatives witnessed it from the stands. It's the expression of a competitor who wants the ball but isn't getting it. The audience witnessed it. The cameras captured it flawlessly, and those watching from home experienced it all because they share her frustration. A thoroughbred can only be kept in the stable for a certain amount of time before something breaks. And whether the Fever front office likes to acknowledge it in public or not, that time is drawing near. This is the portion of the discussion that needs to be addressed because competing fan bases are keeping a careful eye on everything and are thoroughly enjoying it. The camp of Angel Reese. The swarm of page bookers. Pointing to the empty seats are those who have been waiting since 2024 for any chance to contend that Clark is not as untouchable as everyone has believed. The choppy minutes are what they are pointing at. They are pointing to the discontent on social media and claiming that Clark's moment in the spotlight is waning, but their confidence does not reflect the real numbers. The rivalry between Clark and Reese has never really subsided. That whole section of the internet comes alive whenever Clark appears even slightly weak, and at this moment, they actually think they have something to point at. However, let me be very clear about what the evidence actually says. The data does not even slightly, support that narrative of it all. Right now, Caitlin Clark is ranked second in basketball jersey sales overall, not second in the WNBA. The NBA and WNBA jointly rank second in the entire sport. Stephen Curry, a four-time champion who has dominated the sport for more than 10 years, is the only person ahead of her. LeBron James is not as good as her. Luka Doncic is behind her. Victor Wembanyama is behind her. Take a moment to consider that. NBA generational legends are being outsold by a second-year guard in the WNBA. Fading star does not have that profile. That is the profile of a person whose influence on culture is still growing. Her fans aren't letting go of her. When they purchase a ticket, they are merely refusing to take a chance on whether they will be able to watch her performance when that certainty reappears. The sellouts follow suit. Each and every time. That isn't conjecture. That is precisely what occurred during her rookie season, and if the rotation problem were fixed, it would occur once more at this time. During the 2025